the cost of issuance, authorizing the preparation and distribution of a preliminary official statement and an official statement relating to the bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery on behalf of the county and for each series of bonds of indentures of trust pursuant to which the series of bonds will be issued, loan agreements between the county as lender and the corporation as borrower, providing for loan repayments sufficient to pay the principal of the interest on each series of bonds as the same become due, and a tax regulatory agreement relating to one or more series of bonds and a bond purchase agreement providing for the sale of the bonds on a negotiated basis and taking other related actions.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mike Vitale is on, and so is Joel Vanderbilt, if you want to acknowledge them as well. They represent the office in the bond issue.
Okay. Do we have the attorneys on here for this
They do. I see there's Mike.
bond issue?
Mike, you're muted.
Oh,
Mike Vitale, you're muted.
Mike Vitale, you're muted. You have to unmute. And are you the one that came up with this
Joel
epistle here?
No, I am much briefer, as I will try and be here, Judge.
Okay.
That's Joel's fault.
The primary thing that most people want to know, and I'm certainly all of the magistrates prefer to hear that this bond issue, we are a conduit for this bond issue, and we have no responsibility to pay any of the debt service, and this is solely under it's solely underwritten on the financial strength of the hospital. Is that correct? And would you want to restate it a better way?
Judge, I would immediately state that is 100% correct. The hospital always appreciates the cooperation and support of the county. And again, in this case, it is a refinancing of bonds that were non-obligations of the county, and this refinancing will likewise not be an obligation or represent an indebtedness of the county. It'll be paid solely by revenues from the hospital.
Okay. Do any of our magistrates have anything to ask or say, or do you have any questions of Mr. Vitale or
Joel Vanderveen, and he's on here.
who is?
Joel Vanderveen, and he's on here.
Joel Vanderveen is on here as well. Hello.
He's waving.
Okay. Do you have anything to add to that at all, Mr. Vanderveen?
I'd just be happy to answer any questions that might arise. I think the ordinance itself summarizes the parts of the transaction that the county is a party to, and we provided a summary of the financing request that talks a little more broadly about the transaction as a whole and the schedule, et cetera. But happy to answer any questions there might be.
Okay. And I see Ms. Lawless.
A lot of money.
Yeah. I hope they are saving a significant amount. Ms. Lawless, did you have anything you'd like to add?
I do not. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, Cummings makes the motion.
Cummings makes a motion to approve.
Second, my woman.
Second by Squire Gorman. Any discussion, any further discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Thank you all for being on here. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like, but anyone who needs to go on about their business, they're certainly welcome to sign off.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
Judge?
Yes, sir.
Mike, Connie Smith, our president and CEO, is also on this call, and I know she would want to join me in thanking you all for your continued support of Med Center Health. We appreciate very much the involvement that Fiscal Court has had for many, many years in helping us as a conduit for our bond issues. But maybe more importantly this morning, we want to thank you all for your thoughts and prayers and your concerns about our staff. We appreciate the prayer this morning, Squire. Thank you all for everything that you're doing to support our team at the hospital and healthcare workers throughout our county, not just in our organization. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sal. And on my screen, I don't have Ms. Smith on there, but Connie, I apologize for not recognizing you. If you have anything to add, certainly we'd be delighted to hear from you.
Judge, I'm happy to be back in the background and let you all talk and me listen. So
All
I
right.
echo what Ron said and appreciate, as always, the great support we get from you and the entire team there.
Thank you, and then thank you all for doing such an outstanding job. I'm not sure exactly how we would have weathered this had it not been for our local healthcare workers, and particularly at Medical Center. You all have really been through a storm, and it's not over yet. I'm afraid with the holidays, it's probably not going to peak until 2 or 3 weeks after Christmas. I certainly hope that this partial shutdown is going to do some good, but I'm afraid people are going to continue to get out during the holidays, and unfortunately, it just takes a small percentage to disregard guidance by the CDC. So I'm afraid you are going to be busy for weeks to come.
We are prepared for that as best as we can be. But it's tough, but with the good news yesterday, I don't know if everybody saw or not, but we were selected as one of the 11 hospitals across the state that's going to be receiving 975 doses of the Pfizer vaccine as soon as the FDA approves that. So we're working close with the governor's office, and especially Commissioner Stack, who is doing an amazing job. And so we started getting prepared and ordering extra freezer capacity several months ago. So we're really excited about that. We know that that's going to be a process as well, but at least that's some hope that we haven't had in the last few months. So you all just continue to do everything you can to keep yourself and your family safe, and keep praying for us, and we sure appreciate it.
Thank you so much. God bless all of you all. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is to approve the first reading of ordinance 2064, amending the restated agreement for the establishment of the joint City-County Planning Commission of Warren County and joint City-County Board of Adjustments.
So move, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young, second.
Second by Cummings.
Second by Squire Cummings. Any additional discussion or questions from anyone?
Ben, I had a couple questions for you, Ben, if I can. Are we the first body hearing this, or has it gone through either the other second-class cities or City of Bowling Green yet?
So the City of Bowling Green had their first reading Tuesday night. The result of that vote was 4-1. None of the other cities have voted yet. I think the Smiths Grove first reading is scheduled for January 25th.
I believe,
Obviously, this won't go into, if it gets passed by all bodies, it won't go into effect until after the final entity approves it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thanks.
I did speak with the mayor of Plum Springs yesterday, and I think, I'm not sure if it's today or early next week, they're having their first reading. So I believe that we should have the second reading on that before Smiths Grove has their first reading. Any other questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Thank you. Okay, if there are no objections, I'd like to, we have the owner, or president of the technology group from T-Scanner Technologies on with us today, and as a courtesy to him, I want to go ahead and move item number 29 up. Does anyone have any objections to that? Okay. Item number 29 is to approve the purchase of 2 elevated body temperature kiosks from T-Scanner Technologies at a cost of $17,500. This is a COVID-related purchase. Now, this is $17,500 is for both scanners. And I think you all probably have a copy of the bid on this. It's and this is a single source provider for this type of equipment. Mr. Harnage is on here. If you have any questions for him in regard to these are purchased primarily or specifically for the jail and the courthouse. And if they perform the way we think they will, there may be additional purchases in the near future. No questions?
Make a motion, we accept.
Motion by Squire McWhorter to accept. Second?
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. If there are no other questions, please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Harnage. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that other than what I just shared?
No, sir, Judge, I appreciate the opportunity. I know several people on the call currently or on the meeting. We've worked diligently through 2020, through a couple of various products to get to where we are now to have a very accurate and dependable system. Being local, we're going to be standing over top of these with you. And to a better note, we are also having conversations with the Commonwealth of Kentucky next week for the possible placement of 4,000 of these units. So I'm happy that Warren County is going to lead the charge. We've also had a conversation with the National Bureau of Prisons, and they have basically we need to have a unit in a setting of a jail to write certain protocols for them to get approved for us to move in the direction of installing these in for the National Bureau of Prisons as well. So this is a great opportunity for us as a local business, and I thank you very, very much for the opportunity. And I will follow up with you. And once again, us being local, we will be directly on top of this to ensure everything moves forward and quickly. And hopefully we can move past COVID and even continue to use these types of systems to prevent the spread of other diseases and other things along the way. But once again, I do appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Harnage. We appreciate you being here. Okay.
Y'all have a great weekend. I will depart and I will follow up later this afternoon.
All righty. Thank you so much. Okay, item number 8 is to approve Resolution 2027 consenting to Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc.'s sale of Lot 12 of Section 2 of the Kentucky Trimodal Transpark subdivision and partial cancellation of ground lease and lease related to said property. I think all of you all are familiar with this. Are there any questions? I see Ms. Rosansky is on the line here. If you have any questions about this.
Motion to accept.
Motion by Squire Cummings to accept. Second.
McWhorter.
Second by Squire McWhorter. No further discussion or questions. Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us. Item number 9 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2057, rezoning property located at 6548 Nashville Road from agriculture to single-family residential and general business containing approximately 10.1102 acres and presently owned by 7 Plus LLC.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second by Squire Young.
second by Squire Young. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 10 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2058, rezoning property located at 240 Rich Pond Road from agriculture to general business containing approximately 1.9237 acres and presently owned by Wesley and Janice Walker and Kelly McCoy with Rich Pond Grove LLC as the applicant.
So made, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second by Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 11 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2059, rezoning property located at 0 and 710 Mormon Lane and 0 Northridge Drive from agriculture, from agriculture, 710 Mormon Lane and 0 Northridge Drive from agriculture and residential estate, heavy industrial, and residential, single-family residential to single-family residential containing approximately 92 acres and presently owned by Kenway Contracting and J. Allen Builders. Okay, I see Jody Allen on here. Does anyone
So moved, Squire Young.
have a motion by Squire Young?
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Okay, do we have any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes,
Esquire
ma'am.
Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion passes. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Allen. I assume you...
Thank you all very much, Judge.
All right. Stay safe. All right, item number 12 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2060, establishing Sir Wilburn Way located in Harvest Landing subdivision as a county road and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings,
Second by Squire
Gorman.
Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 13 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2061 relating to the closing of Penner Road located within Warren County, Kentucky.
So moved, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second, McWhorter.
second by Squire McWhorter. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 14 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2062, amending the budget of Warren County.
Hey, Judge,
Yes, sir?
we still don't have the signature back from DLG on that budget amendment. There was no one in the office all week to sign that, so I don't know, Amy, if Are we
Okay.
allowed to still approve it without DLG
It would be contingent upon.
signature? That they've approved it via email, but they have not signed the actual budget amendment.
Okay, we can approve it contingent upon receiving the sign off by the DLG. So yes, that's fine. I'm
Okay.
certain it should be here anytime. Most everything they're handling through emails nowadays, so maybe, but obviously they can't handle a signature on something. But yes, that we would ask that whoever makes this motion is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2062, amending the budget of Warren County contingent upon DLG's signing off on the
So made, McWhorter.
motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Young.
second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 15 is to approve the October 2020 Treasurers Report.
So moved, Gorman.
Motion by Squire
Second by
Gorman,
Squire Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 16 is to approve the determination in the amount of $5,875 for replacement of the bed of the flatbed truck at Griffin Park from Meyer Truck Equipment, single source extra safety lights to be installed, as well as the side and rear rails to ensure safe transportation of the goods.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings. Second?
Second by Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 17, approved resolution 2026 in support to address the modernization of Kentucky's transportation funding mechanisms and to address transportation funding needs throughout Kentucky. I have a motion to approve.
Motion, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young, second.
Second by Cummings.
Second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 18 is to approve contract amendment with the Southern Health Partners for January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. And there's no fee increase in this proposal.
So made, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second.
Second by Squire Lawrence.
I have a second by Squire Lawrence. Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 19 is approve the Warren County's TIF property tax distributions for 2019.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence. Second.
Squire Young.
Second by Squire Young. Further discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 20 is to approve determination in the amount of $6,918.96 from Motorola Solutions on the city-county master agreement. These radios will replace two that were purchased in 2009 with grant funding and are no longer serviceable and cannot be repaired, and there's no direct cost to Warren County General Fund. These are paid for through asset forfeiture funds.
Motion to approve, Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings. Second.
Second, Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. No questions, discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 21 is to approve the purchase of a 2021 Dodge Charger Special Service from Glen Freedom Dodge in the amount of $26,574. This is Kentucky State price contract, MA 758, 180000176, and this is paid for through forfeited funds and forfeited vehicle sales. No cost to the county.
McWhorter approves.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Good job, Tommy.
And I might just say, Judge, just give y'all a quick report, because obviously the auction we held on November 20th is going to pay for that, but the total sales of surplus equipment and vehicles was $124,645.
Wow.
And on the 4 vehicles we sold that we actually had purchased new and using my I would say my plan, I really stole this from the Missouri State Patrol. They do this with their vehicles at 50,000, and we tweaked that a little bit and try to do it every 2 to 3 years. But we sold one Ford Explorer for $200 less than we paid for it and had it in service a little over 2 years. And the 2 Dodge Ram pickups we sold for essentially $2,000 less than we paid for them and drove those for over 2 years. So I certainly believe this is a no-brainer and that we're saving both the county and the task force quite a bit of money, but we do appreciate your all's support in that. And I don't know if you all would want me to talk so you don't have to listen to me twice briefly about item 28 in purchasing some computers while I'm already on here.
Okay, let's go ahead.
The ones we have are 5 years old. We've had one hard drive go out. Through experience, I found when that starts, then we start having problems with it. So we got state contract pricing, and even they reduced it since we were buying 14 units. But the second good news is I was able to talk to our friends over at Appalachia High, and they're going to pay for half of these or reimburse us for half the computers purchased. So that's even better. But I'll be on here and available to answer any other questions.
All right. Thank you, Tommy. We already have a motion
Yes, sir.
and a second.
Yes, sir.
Please call the roll then.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 22 is to approve the Federal Bureau of Prisons inspection report dated November 23rd, 2020, and the report shows no deficiencies or advisements. That's a good job, naturally. Jailer Harmon? Any
Motion to approve.
motion?
Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings to approve, Second?
Second, Squire Young.
Second, Squire Young. Any other discussion? Questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 23 is to approve the replacement of the playground structure at Browning Park from Miracle Recreation. This is KPC pricing in the amount of $17,899. Those of you who've been out there understood the deterioration of the current unit, and Mr. Comer strongly advised that we go ahead and make the replacement for safety and maintenance sake. Do any of you have any questions, Mr. Comer?
So moved, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second?
Second, Squire.
Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings, Esquire Cummings,
Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Motion passed. Approve the purchase of outdoor lighting at the tennis courts, the new facility, from Musco Sports Lighting in the amount of $158,173. The Sourcewell price contract. And this was part of the original bid, wasn't it, Mr. Comer?
Yes, sir. It was.
Okay, I thought so. All right.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Squire Cummings to approve.
Second, Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Anything you want to add, Mr. Comer, or did I describe what the situation was?
Yes, sir. The project is moving right along, even with the wet weather. We've got the sewer connected this week. We've got all the footers poured, the piers poured. This morning that we are connecting the new transformer that will service both the existing gym and the new facility. And we had our monthly meeting yesterday with our tennis, I call it our tennis task force, with all of our different partners. And we're moving forward with developing the operational plans and working on sponsors, and things are moving well.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. No other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 25 is to approve the purchase of 2 wireless scoreboards that were hit by lightning, one at Buchanan Park and one at White Park. These scoreboards will be purchased through Toadvine Enterprise at KPC pricing contract in the amount of $10,394. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion, Squire Young.
Squire Young,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Any discussion or questions?
Chris, if you're still on there,
Yes.
I know we've had a number of these scoreboards over the years hit by lightning. Have we investigated, or is there any kind of technology out there that we could purchase to put on these things to help prevent lightning strikes?
Yes, sir. Mr. Young, we've been able, through the court support, to put in lightning surge protection systems at all the regional parks with all of our primary electrical boards servicing the Musco lights, and then also the scoreboards. Back several years ago, probably 5-10 years ago, we averaged about $20,000 to $50,000 lightning repairs over the course of about a 24 to 36 month period. We went ahead and invested in some surge suppression technology. Unfortunately, with these two boards, they were direct strikes on the boards themselves, and it just fried the board. So even with that surge capacity that we have with the primary electrical service panels, these two were actually hit direct by the bolts, and that's why they're having to be replaced. But the surge protection has helped. We have had to replace a total of 6 of those units over the last 2 years because of lightning strikes at the park. But that's also saved us a considerable amount of money, where we're looking at about an $800, $900 loss compared to the cost of these new boards, which we're having to do today. So those units, even though they're a little pricey, they have really helped us out in regards to other electrical issues that we've had.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Comer? Ms. Hale?
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 26 is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,089.91 to Arnold's Boats and Motors for repairs to the Alvin Fire Department rescue boat.
So moved, McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second, Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, item number 27 is to approve the determination in the amount of $2,700 to Center for Evidence-Based Programming for Keep a Clear Mind licensing agreement between Center for Evidence-Based Programming and Save Our Kids Coalition, Inc. This is paid for by the ASAP grant. Motion to approve?
Motion, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young.
Second, Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 28 is the one that Mr. Loving has already explained to you all earlier,
Motion to
but this is
accept.
to approve the purchase of 14 Precision Workstation 5820 tower computers and 28 Dell monitors from P2419H from Dell Computer Corporation through their government sales section for a total of $29,797.18. There's no cost to Warren County. Paid half from Appalachian HIDA, and task force paying for the remainder from asset forfeiture account.
Motion by Cummings.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second.
McWhorter.
Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 30 is to pay the bills. Will the treasurer please present the claims to the court?
General Fund, $840,145. Road Fund, $57,587. Jail Fund, $279,871. And Stormwater Fund, $16,561. Be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion, we pay the claims as submitted.
Second recorder.
Motion by Squire Young to pay claims as submitted, and second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter,
Ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Okay, Sheriff Hightower, do you have anything you'd like to share this morning?
Just hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, Judge, and just want to give them an update that right now we're currently sitting at 88.37% on the current taxes we've collected, and it's projected to hit the goal of 95% by the end of the month. So that's moving along well.
Okay. I think that's fantastic. When we get that in, of course, it's always amazing to me to see the amount of tax collected and the residual amount that we actually get to keep, since we passed the lion's share of it over to school districts and the state. But we collect for a lot of different entities, so it makes our tax bill look like it's much more significant than it is. But we're proud to get the portion that, the small portion that we actually get to utilize for the benefit of the people of Warren County.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Yates, are you on here?
I don't think so, Judge. She said she couldn't get on today.
Okay. All righty. Jailer Harmon, I saw you were on here with no glasses on.
Well, we're trying contacts. The whole mask situation is out of control if you wear glasses, and I'm sure you all know what I mean. I just want to thank you, Judge. We've got several employees that are out from either positive tests or potential exposures. So our luck has run out. We are experiencing some COVID-related shortages as far as our staff's concerned. So we're doing the best we can with that, and I'm working with the judges and the two prosecutors, Amy and Chris, both have been a big help as we continue down this virtual court situation we're in that we've had since March. So we've got a meeting this afternoon to further refine some of those things. We've had some inmate exposures so far. The tests are coming back negative, so we're thankful for that. We have another cell that's on quarantine now that we tested last night. So we're doing what we can in that regard. I wanted to give the sheriff a big thanks for some holsters that were sent our way. They got some new firearms and new holsters, and the ones we ordered, first time ever that our folks will be provided a department-owned gun to help standardize training and help them not have to provide all of their own equipment. Right now, they provide everything themselves. So big thanks to Brett and the ones in his office that passed those things down to us that they can no longer use, but will be a huge money savings to our folks that buy their own equipment still. And so I wanted to thank him for that. And then I think everything else is trucking along. We appreciate the consideration on the body temperature kiosk that was approved today. We're hoping to put that into play as soon as possible and make that another part of our plan as we fight this COVID spread. So that's the update from the jail. If you need anything from me, let me know.
Great. And congratulations on all the negative tests in the jail so far. I hope your luck continues on that. We've had some scares, and it's amazing. I think that you've done a better job than any other jailer in the state of Kentucky, as far as I can tell. It's a constant effort, but I know that you all have worked hard at it, and it's been beneficial to all the inmates, and it's helped to keep fewer staff from being positive as well. But anyway, thank you for the great job. Mr. Comer.
Thank you, Judge.
Nothing for us today?
No, sir. Everything's going well at the park.
I got to get out to see the the new footprint out there of the new building. Have they put any steel up yet?
No, sir. The steel hopefully will come in around the probably around the middle of January. The big thing the last week or so is that we're getting all the drainage, all the underground drainage set up, the sewers connected. We should have by now all the electric up off of the generator for, again, the existing building and the new building. And progress is being made. The leveling of the outdoor courts has been completed, as well as footers for the electrical pole bases. And so they're taking advantage of all the nice weather that they've had up to the last week or so, and things are moving really well.
Good deal. Thank you so much, Chris.
Hey, Chris, can you give us an update about Fillmore, down at Fillmore Park?
Yes, sir. The progress on the Sunbelt project with the Kiwanis project and maintenance building is going really well as well. They have gotten primarily all of the concrete work done on the soapbox facility side. All the ballards are in. They had a delay in the awning, which will be over the court one doorway that'll kind of be there adjacent to the exterior entry door to the new Kiwanis building. I talked to Cody this morning with Sunbelt. They're hoping to have that in within the next 10 to 15 days. He also, Sunbelt had a meeting yesterday with Scotty's, and they're hoping, if weather is good, to be out there starting next week. So he is going to send me all of that in writing via email, and I'll make sure that I send that out to everybody to keep everybody in the loop. But maintenance building's doing great. They've got the garage doors up. The Fillmore Park staff is ecstatic about it. It's going to provide us some much needed storage room that they've needed for a long time. And for the first time ever, we'll be able to have all of our maintenance equipment inside. So that's going really, really well.
Good deal. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Nothing to share. Great.
No.
Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
Mr. Young on here? No. Okay. Mr. Reagan? Do you have anything? Thought I saw you on here. Yeah.
I'm here, Judge. Just thought I'd let you know our litter contractor that Josh has worked with has picked up some supplies to get started, and hopefully he'll be out on Scottsville Road or Louisville Road or one of our other major corridors next Monday, weather permitting.
Good deal. Good deal.
Hey, Stan, I've had I've had requests for Mormon Lane again. So if you could ask them to swipe by there, I'd appreciate it.
We've told him that those primary roads, when he's going down through those, to branch off and get the feeder roads, especially Mormon Lane.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All righty. Mr. Pearson, I know you're plenty busy.
Thank you, Judge. Just as everybody's probably heard, there's some movement toward the vaccine. Even here at the local level, we've been working on this for about 2 months now. As Connie alluded, that the medical center has been chosen to receive some of those. So we've been working with the healthcare facilities, that all the response agencies in preparation to hopefully get those out here in the very near future.
I hope so. And I hope people actually take them.
I did send out some information for everybody yesterday to give
Saw
them
that.
some background on the vaccine itself. There were several questions that had came up. I hope that those answered a majority of those questions. If they don't, they get back with me. I'll be glad to pursue it further and get their questions answered.
All right. Thank you, Ronnie. Mr. Branstetter. Mr. Branstetter, you have anything you'd like to share? Just
Peace.
all right. All righty. If you said anything, Bob, you were muted. So thank you for being here anyway. We appreciate you. All right. Mr. Appling.
Thank you, Judge. Everything going fine. We're in good shape.
Y'all are still plenty busy, I hope?
Yeah, it's slowing down here during the holidays, but we hopefully pick back up first of the year.
All righty. Thanks, Bob. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing new to report.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ben, I got one question. Are we still going to be on virtual meetings for a while, or you think that's kind of where we are set in to do some of these things? I know we had that one zoning request was pushed off, the one over on out there in my neck of the woods was pushed off because of the having an in-person meeting. Just curious where we stand on those.
Yeah, I think especially now it's probably worse than even when we started as far as numbers go. So I think until that vaccine is widely distributed and restrictions are eased, we'll probably be continuing with the Zoom format, until further notice. So probably be well into 2021 would be my guess.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Lackey is not on here, I don't think. Mr. Markram, I don't believe is on here. He's been off under the weather for the last week or so, and maybe off for another few days, but certainly hope you are feeling better, James, and you're in all our thoughts and prayers. Do we have, we don't have any of the fire chiefs on this morning, do we? I don't see anyone, okay. Okay. Squire Young, you have anything you'd like to share?
No, Judge, just everybody stay safe. Things are not getting any better, they're getting worse. So we need to stay diligent in our fight against this mess. And everybody just be careful.
I agree with you, and I believe things will continue to get worse over the next several weeks. So,
I agree.
Because of the holidays and people traveling so much and letting their guard down. And I think that we all need to continue to work hard to take care of the people around us and ourselves, and pray for everyone else. Squire Cummings, you have anything?
No, just kind of echo what Squire Young said. I guess I've been fortunate I hadn't anybody real close to me have been affected by COVID, but recently it has happened. So just everybody needs to be diligent and smart, and wash your hands. And if you do those things, you're going to be okay. But I also want to send a message out to all of us, and anybody's listening online, that please support local businesses. There are a lot of people who are suffering tremendously financially through all these restrictive, orders that have been put in place. And so, my encouragement to everybody is, even if you don't need to go get takeout, even if you don't need to do something, these folks need that now more than ever. So, if you can, just try to support our local businesses that are greatly affected by this shutdown. So, everybody be safe and just be smart.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron. Squire McWhorter.
I would just like to ask everyone to continue to pray for this situation, for our nurses, our doctors, and all our first responders. I know I continue to do that daily, and just ask everyone in our county to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rex. Squire Lawrence.
Yeah, Judge, I'd just like to restate basically what everybody else has said, is to everybody just be as safe as you possibly can be, and take these precautions seriously. Don't wear your mask in an inappropriate way. Don't think that you can overcome all these things just by some kind of bravado. I would encourage people to actually, take the wearing of the mask very seriously and try to socially distance. Don't let your guard down just because you think things are all right or going to get better. Because I'm here to tell you, from my experience so far across the county and across the region, the transmission is worse now than it has been. I'd just like to encourage everybody to be as safe as possible and take all the precautions seriously and do them appropriately. If you're going to wear a mask, wear it appropriately. And if you're going to be around people, you should wear a mask. If you don't wear one, it's basically disrespect and lack of caring for the people around you.
Totally agree. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you, Tom. Stay safe, pal.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, Squire Gorman. I know you're dying to talk here.
Okay.
No, Judge, I just, I'm not talking about the virus. I don't want to figure that out. But a couple things. One, I wanted to update because they didn't, it wasn't in the paper, which is fine, but we just did receive our 2019 TIF check, and it was $3,870,000 and a little bit of change for 2019, which is the state portion of that. And that was up about $300,000 from last year, so that continues to grow. Now, again, we have a little nervousness due to the virus about next year's check, which we'll receive in 2021, but it'll be reflective of 2020 because, again, it's based on sales tax, which these businesses are hurting. So to reiterate what Squire Cummings said, these small businesses are in a world of trouble right now. We have some restaurants that at the end of the day are not going to reopen or will not survive, and that is a shame. So again, everyone can try to be safe so we can get through this. So I am praying for that vaccine to make a difference in the business climate and business community, because again, that is small businesses, the economic engine that drives our economy, no matter what everyone else says. That's my opinion, but it's backed up. So let's hopefully we can get through this. And then two other things, just a community thing. Western plays their first home game at 2:00 Sunday afternoon. Good luck with tickets. They're doing all the protocols there. I was tested this morning, as I have to do once a week for the whole season to do the PA for that, so that's good. But what I think we sometimes fail to remember is all of these, the county, the city, the healthcare facilities, everything on testing. That's kind of the unwritten thing. And just to give you an idea of the magnitude of what has happened with this virus, the university itself, just Western, just that entity itself has budgeted $400,000 just for testing of their athletes and their support staff, et cetera. So that's a budget item, and it can be Warren County obviously has felt that. The increased expenses to go with this are untold, and so everyone has to be on their, again, it goes back to their behavior and attitudes and things like this so we can get to the other side of this. And then finally, a big day in Bowling Green tonight. They have a football game. It's the last game at the existing L. Donaldson Stadium at Bowling Green High School, and many people have fond memories of that. I have no idea, Judge, if you've ever scored a touchdown there, but there's many other people that can say they have, and so
I'll just say no.
Okay, just checking. Long time coming, but that is a great thing for the community as well, and so that's tonight at 7:00 at L. Donaldson at Bowling Green. And I hope everyone stays safe and has a great weekend ahead of them.
Hey, Doug, who's Western play Sunday?
I'm glad you asked, Rex. They play Mississippi Valley State, who in the Ken Palm ratings of America, they're number 357. There are 357 teams in America.
Right.
Well, I wish them luck then.
Just got to take who you can get, though. That's what
Well, did y'all set that up? I mean, were you expecting that question? That sounds like a setup.
No, it wasn't a setup. It just was. It really hasn't been announced much, but I mean, I wasn't even going to mention it. But so thanks, Rex, for bringing it up.
All right.
What time did you say the game is?
It's 2 p.m.
2
Sunday.
o'clock. Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Western. All righty. Of course, Squire Payne is not with us today. Ms. Milliken.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
All righty. And Mr. Burrow.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Smith. Ms. Hale.
Thank you, Judge.
All righty. I appreciate you bringing up, Squire Gorman, that I never scored a touchdown at the L. Donaldson Stadium. But I did in my mind.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Anyway,
Judge, I was hoping you could, I would, after this, maybe the media could ask you what your favorite memory of L. Donaldson was. I don't know when he was around, but I'm sure you probably knew him.
I knew L. Donaldson very well, and his son Max is a good friend of mine, and Coach Donaldson was a heck of a guy. He was a good coach, and he was a guy that everyone considered their friend, except for a few people. I've had a couple of stories where he actually escorted some college high people out of games, not out of football games, but out of basketball games. I'll share those with you in private. Anyway, there's any other business to be brought before this body today?
When's our next meeting, please?
Our next meeting is, Ms. Hale? I think it's the 18th.
18th at 9 o'clock, but there will be a call meeting at 8:30 for that ordinance for the hospital.
The TEFRA hearing,
Sorry.
the TEFRA hearing is at 8:30.
Because what?
The TEFRA hearing is at 8:30.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
It'll be a separate call-in.
Okay, so it'll be a separate call-in at 8:30, and this is due to the KETFA meeting that starts at 8:30. So 8:30 a.m. we'll see each other again right here personally on Zoom, December 18th at 8:30 a.m. Thank you all so much.
Y'all be safe out there.
Thank you, Judge.
everybody.
All righty. See y'all.